Welcome to another episode of Around the Block Talk. Today we have with us Zaara. She is the Chief Marketing Officer at Star Metaverse. It's a pleasure to have you today with us and looking forward to what you have to share with us. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Prateek. So I'm Zaara. I'm from Star Metaverse at the moment. So we are currently doing a project on Metaverse. It's like a big thing at the moment. So we are based in Dubai. Okay, incorporated and based in Dubai, and our operations run mainly from Dubai. So so I'm the Chief Marketing Officer. So here representing them at the moment.
Right. So thank you very much, Zaara, for appearing on the show, giving us your precious time. So now moving on to the topic of the discussion that we have today, that would be Star Metaverse and what kind of initiative or what kind of things we're doing over there.
Okay, so Star Metaverse, we have started this and we have actually decided to just focus on a few niche. So we've chosen to do it as a cinema, sports, and entertainment niche. And we actually collaborated with celebrities. So, basically what people want to do, people want connection. And other metaverses, what we have seen is everybody could get it. Yes, everybody could get it, but there's no direction of where we're going. It's like everybody, so we wanted to make it more niche. So we have chosen cinema, sports, and entertainment because we have celebrities collaborated. So we have stars from Bollywood, like Mr. Sanjay Dutt has actually signed on with us. Then we have Anu Malik, and we have a cricketer called Shrishant. That is so far that has signed up with us. And then we're in talks with a couple of people from Hollywood. We're in talks with some people from the sports world around the world. So we're not only limited to one region as well, we're going global, but we're just at the very, very beginning, very start of it. And we're in private sale at the moment. So this metaverse actually is to connect people. Not everything, obviously we're going to have lands and everything on the metaverse, but at the same time, what it is we want to connect, like a person like Anu Malik, he came on and told us, I want to mentor. I'm not everybody's in just to make money. Okay, so he's been giving to the industry for a long time. And when COVID happened, what happened to all of us around the world? We were limited. We had to work from home. We couldn't fly for meetings. So I think that in a way has actually pushed Metaverse to become bigger. And you see people who love fans, they love celebrities and everything. In India, you see how they actually stand out of their houses and actually wait to meet them. But is it really possible that easily? You can stand there 100 days, but even the chance of getting a handshake, or a selfie even, it's really, really very hard. So with Star Metaverse, what we aim to do is give some access, connection. So it can be in the metaverse and also it can be in the real life. So we are not limiting everything to just metaverse because we still believe that not everyone is still there yet. So at the same time, we want to do it both way and give everybody a liberty to have a chance of things in life. Like meeting a star, you see, like I told you, just waiting outside their gate is not going to guarantee you to meet them. Even if we go to a sports stadium for cricket, can we really meet the cricket stars? Not really. It really takes you got to know someone to know someone to know someone, and that also it's maybe or maybe not. But in the metaverse, how we make it possible is we're obviously going to have NFTs, and these NFTs will be your ticket to actually meet these stars. We may have private sessions, we may have party sessions, we may have concerts, but at the same time, we also will have business meetings. We will go in the avenue of gathering investors and having investor meetings, everything in the metaverse as well. And also we are planning to do things in real life in Dubai. So that's our main aim, basically connecting people. Yeah.
Right, indeed. So that's great to know also.
Okay.
Yeah, indeed. And very nice to hear some familiar names from Bollywood and India, also partnering with Star Metaverse.
Yeah.
So also,
Yeah.
how do you imagine this ecosystem that you're building? Is it completely virtual? The interactions are virtual in nature, or do you see both kind of virtual and offline? And so, how are these people going to interact with each other?
Okay, so we are gonna try to make it both ways. But when it comes to online, obviously the whole global world can actually go into it. But when we're talking about offline, we are gonna base ourselves in Dubai, and Dubai being a hub, look at what has happened here. You know, the Dubai government investing into metaverse, even Ajman Police investing into metaverse, and we already have Vara over here. So I think we are in the right space at the right time. We are incorporated in Dubai itself. We've got a team of people who are in Dubai. We are headed by our CEO, Mr. Moyed Kafesha, who's actually a prominent businessman in Dubai. And so we've got a lot of things going on in Dubai. So we think that this is one of the greatest place to be at the moment, because connecting over here, and the amount of events that happen over here in Dubai is quite prominent. So with all this backup, with all these things that just came into place this year, especially, I think we are in the right space, right time, and we have good connections. Like you said, familiar names. Even in Bollywood, we are not talking about just about new names. We're talking about people who have been in the industry for very, very long. So I think we are off to a very, very great start over here, actually.
Right, indeed.
Yeah.
So also, is are the interactions going to happen in the form of avatars and or possibly video meets? How is this ecosystem that you're building? I'm curious to know how it's going to shape up.
Okay, we are looking at a few things. So avatars, yes, for sure, because that is part of the metaverse, the main thing that people are looking at. But at the same time, yes, we're gonna do videos as well. We're gonna combine, the metaverse and the real life things, because at the end of the day, sometimes it's nicer to see Sanjay Dutt like as a person, right? Rather than just an avatar. It's nice to see him in person. It's nice to be able to ask him a question in person and him answering us. So we are trying to make this possible in this ecosystem. So we are not limiting everything to just being avatar and Roblox style. We are also trying to bring it in real life, so people have a very personal connection as well, and speaking to a real person.
Right, indeed. So, at what stage of development is your product at this moment? As you say, we have private sale going on. So, do you also
Yeah.
have the metaverse ready, or do you have a proof of concept ready? And how is it?
We are actually in prototype development phase. I think it should be ready in about the next month or so. So yeah, so once that starts, then obviously we'll go on to the bigger building of the entire thing. But we'll start with a prototype in another month or so. So we're almost there. So we've been working on this for the past, I think, 7-8 months. And so we didn't want to come out with just, talking. We wanted to show people something. So we've got the website already. We've got a video of our ideation. And yeah, the prototype will be out in about a month or a month and a half kind of thing. So yeah, there.
Right, indeed. So, metaverse is again based on blockchain, and some of the things that it's
Yeah.
going to enable, yeah, and some of the thing it's going to enable is like your tokenization. You're having a private sale at this moment. Also, some kind of a creator economy in terms of NFTs, how fans can interact with celebrities. So, what kind of an ecosystem uh, are you imagining that blockchain will enable for this particular niche kind of a metaverse?
You see, when we talk about ecosystem, we are trying to build a world where everything is possible. And the metaverse has made us to imagine things like beyond boundaries. And we have seen, many other metaverse projects, and look at them. Everyone's got a very different idea, and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Everyone's building their own real world. But when we talk about particular in us, we are focusing more on stars and celebrities, connecting them. So the ecosystem will be based around them. We're not really going to bring in someone who's not well known. We want it to be in more of an elite society. See, us as normal people, for us to even go somewhere and ask for investment, funding, etc., is really, really hard. But when we have a group of elite society which are made out of celebrities, stars, and also very high level business people, to get into the society is very hard. We all know that. And we're trying to bridge that gap. So we're trying to give that connection. That is one of it. And second, in the mode of learning, so like I said, a celebrity like Anu Malik, he's a director composer. He wants to come back and mentor people. You want to get into that field? He wants to help you get into that field. He's willing to give some time, like every week or every 2 weeks, he'll have a mentorship session. And maybe those things will work over video calling and stuff, which will be better. But yes, so, and then we have concerts. People want to go and see concerts from everywhere. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to get into the metaverse and see people in front of you. So all this while, we can go to events in real life, but is there a guarantee that you can see someone right in front of you? Not exactly. Unless you buy maybe VVVIP tickets and those kind of things, then that gives you the leverage. But equivalently, in NFTs, there will be different levels, different categories, but we're making it more accessible and more easy, and you can actually do it from home. You don't really have to go anywhere.
Right, indeed. So I believe what you're trying to enable is for general population to have access to the celebrities, to have a closer connection. Also for the celebrities, a new medium to interact with their fans, a new medium to showcase their work. So what do you imagine Metaverse is going to enable for the celebrities, for probably the film industry or the celebrity industry in general? What kind of things do we have possible in the future?
Well, from the movie perspective, I think that, we can start making metaverse movies for education, especially. See, education is one of the biggest thing in the world. And a lot of people try to get inspiration or learn things. And so far we are limited by, YouTube or online websites or everything. But when you have a platform like this metaverse where celebrities can open up a certain event and enable you as an NFT holder to actually come in and personally learn things, and you are not limited by geolocation. That means you don't have to fly anywhere. You don't have to spend that money with flight and hotels and everything. I think people can learn from all over the world. So you're not limited. It just opens up a whole new boundary to a lot of things in the world, which I think I myself think is very amazing that we're able to do this. Because when you saw COVID, what happened with COVID? I was basically at home for 2 years, could not go anywhere, could not do anything because of the limitations we had. And because of that, what did business people suffer in the world? They suffered a lot because they're not meeting people. And, in the traditional world, everybody wants to kind of meet each other. So Metaverse has opened up a very new horizon during the pandemic time, where people just had to make use of things like this, like video calling. And imagine like getting into the metaverse and being able to sit on the same meeting table from like maybe 10 different people from around the world and discussing things. It's amazing. We can even have events, we can do private showcases, we can have private meetings, and everything is so like right in front of you. You feel more personal touch, despite being away, but yeah. So metaverse enables you to kind of be in the environment.
Right, indeed. So also, what kind of roadmap do you see in terms of adoption? So there are certain challenges to the adoption of metaverse and blockchain, and there's probably hardware requirements, there's internet requirements, there's a gap in education in terms of people don't know what metaverse is all about, what it can do. So what kind of adoption roadmap do you see, and how do you see users eventually coming to your metaverse?
Okay, so we actually have just been speaking to Galaxy riders, and they have community community of about 1.5 billion. So we are talking with communities, and it's better to leverage on existing communities rather than us building everything from scratch. So we have been speaking to a couple of people. So like I said, Galaxy Riders is one, being from a gaming industry. Then there's communitas, there's a lot of communities around the world as well. They're penetrating into the MENA region, Southeast Asia being one of the largest market as well. And we've got America, obviously. Then we've got Africa. Africa is an amazing place at the moment as well. So, fixing up, not really fixing up, I would say collaborating with all these communities would enable our adoption much faster than we anticipate. And we're already in talks with many of them from different regions. So because they're in private sale, we're not pushing it yet. But yeah, we're getting there.
Right, indeed. And with metaverse, since it's largely virtual on the internet, so I'm certain you're trying to build a very global product, and people from.
Yes, definitely.
So what kind of roadmap do you have in terms of taking it global? So you mentioned Hollywood, you have some partnerships from India. So how do you see yourself expanding globally?
See, we will start expanding. We will start focusing on MENA region first. Okay, in this next couple of months, it will be MENA region and Southeast Asia as dominant, because this is our best reach at the moment. And then when it comes to 6 months more to come, then we'll start penetrating into US and Australia. Is a little bit slow, but there is connections over there. Like we have people who are interested in this project. So I think our outreach will start in about 3 to 6 months kind of thing.
Right, indeed. So also at an early stage, you have partnered with some Indian celebrities. So what is your criteria, or what was the criteria for this decision? And do you see India as a big market for your product?
Criteria, well, we never really put them to, we didn't have a checklist, okay, to be honest. This was through, basically we have, like I said, we have our CEO, Mr. Moyet Kapesha. He's actually very well, he's got a very good global reach, and he has relationships with a lot of celebrities and people around the world. So this is how the project came by, and with his connections into this world and enabling them to actually come on board with us, this is how we started actually.
Right, indeed. So as you mentioned, your initial targets would be MENA and Southeast Asia. So particularly if we can discuss the Southeast Asia, so there is definitely a large population, and people are slowly adopting metaverse and the Web3 technology. But another challenge in this region is a certain limited access, to the required hardware, to internet, that is still that is yet to reach a lot of people. So how do you see this Southeast Asian market evolving to adopt metaverse products in the future?
See, I do understand that to a certain level, but the minimum requirement these days would just be an internet. So like I said, we are not only limiting everybody that they need to get on the metaverse, we are still going to have video callings, we're going to have in real life events. We are going to, like I said, we will start in Dubai first, and we will see where we grow and actually go to those countries as well. So you see, internet is quite reachable by most of the world, and everyone's growing. Like it's very hard to tell people that don't have internet, they will minimally have a phone these days. Not everyone, obviously, but people are getting there. The adoption is getting there. Even look at cryptocurrency adoption. So we are getting there. It's a little bit hard to predict personally, but I think a lot of people are aware of the internet and just mobile internet at minimum, bare minimum.
Right, indeed. And so also how you would incorporate NFTs in your platform. So how do you see the use of NFTs? And NFTs are multi-dimensional. I mean, they can be used for multiple things. for owning certain objects, probably some collectibles from the fans. They can also act as entry tickets. So, what are the possibilities with NFTs that you can enable in this
Okay,
metaverse?
so most of the stars that are going to come on board, they're actually going to have their own NFTs, and this are what we call the star partners. So they will have their own NFTs, and we have determined a few levels because different NFTs with different levels and different access, those kind of things. So at the same time, on the metaverse itself, we will be selling land, we will selling business establishments, we will have advertisement boards, and then when we have events, we will have event tickets. When we have any seminars, anything that people could do, NFTs would come in place. We're trying to make use of NFTs and the technology as much as we can. And at the same time, we're going to have events in Dubai itself where only NFT holders, will be able to get access to this kind of events.
Right, indeed. So also one challenge that every product faces when, particularly with their, I believe you also have a currency, is it? A token
Yeah, we have
of
a
your product?
token, star token.
Right. So a challenge that every product initially faces is to drive adoption for this token, is to
Mhm.
actually make this token valuable in the community and
Mhm.
to get people to hold and buy and get your token. So in
Yeah.
terms of the adoption of the token, what kind of roadmap do you see?
So now we're in token generation event, as you know. So we've got our private sales going on until next month. So in our private sales, we're actually aiming to raise $20 million, and we have raised $5 million so far. So after that, we'll go for a pre-sale round for about 2 months, and then we're gonna be listing and go to public. So yeah, so in the next about 3 months, we'll see things going to public. And Star Token is actually developed on BSC, so we will be looking at listing it on Binance for sure.
Right, indeed. So also, from what I know, Dubai has very progressive regulations to support blockchain industry and metaverse in general. So in terms of the regulations, is it how friendly are they towards a token sale, towards launching a product like metaverse? Is it so in terms of regulation, how is Dubai for such a form?
I think Dubai is actually accepting. That's why this year I think they've turned around a lot of things, and we have VARA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Association. I think so. By even by the Sheikh Hamdan himself. So they have put in a lot of regulations and making things easier for us. There is even a school in Dubai which actually accepts Bitcoin and Ethereum as tokens. There is a couple of restaurants that are even accepting cryptocurrency, and so we are getting there. This year has been very progressive in terms of token adoption, and it's just getting there over there with Dubai.
Right, indeed. So also, do you have competitors in this space that you're building this metaverse? And
I believe we do. I believe we have plenty of competition out there. So we didn't want to be so general, like a lot of people. We could just open up a metaverse and say everybody you can join, but we didn't want to do that. That's why we went specific. So in our metaverse, actually, we have 5 avenues. So out of the 5 avenues, it's movie avenue, we've got sports avenue, we've got entertainment, we've got party, and we've got music. So we've kind of separated them a bit, but we just want to stay in this focus point at the moment.
right, indeed. So now there's this debate as to when the metaverse is
Mhm.
involved. So do you feel that a single metaverse, or is it going to be a winner take all kind of a situation where a few dominant players, dominant metaverses would attract traffic, or do you see more niche metaverses for particular use cases and a number of them? How do you see that evolving?
I actually see them as more niche. Maybe a couple of them will prevail and be dominant in the market. But That's why I prefer the niche term, whereby like what we are doing exactly. We are saying, okay, this is what we are gonna do, and we're gonna stay by this niche only. We're not gonna go out there and try to capture the whole world. It's really impossible. We can capture a little bit of the population just by penetrating and focusing on things. So I think with niche market, I think we would go better because we are more targeted, we are more focused, we know what we want, we know what we want to do, and we have people on board with us. So we are not in the air at all. We are actually having real life people to advocate for us and to stand by us and to say, hey, we are part of this and this is what we're going to do. So I think that's where niche market would probably prevail better than people who want to do the whole world, I guess. Because you see, how long did it take to build the world? And the world is still building. It's not stopped. There's still underdeveloped countries. There's still not developed countries. So when we are building something, we have to take that into consideration. And I don't think we'll be able to touch each and every citizen of the world. We are only able to take a percentage of it. So even a little percentage is already a big thing. So if we are focusing on stars, then the people who are interested in celebrities are massive. So that was how we think it will go by.
Right, indeed. Yeah. So also, right. So as you mentioned, starting from, yeah, I'm sorry, I think I'm out of questions. So with
No
that,
problem.
yeah. So with that, thank you very much, Zara, for coming on the show. It was a pleasure to
Okay.
host you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pratik, for having me.